Cinsaut for long has been the most planted red grape in South Africa, but everybody was been kind of ashamed of it. Luckily, some farmers didn't pull out the vine that became out of fashion or lost its luster and attraction for blends, and we end up with old vineyards. And when I say old, it's not a bad adjective, it's actually a quality when it comes to vineyard. And it's important for vineyards to be old because then you can end up with higher concentration, higher natural extraction without having to rely on mechanical extraction or human extraction of the grape. And that's when we have heritage vineyards, like this one. It's been planted in what, 78?
Correct.
1978 Cinsaut from Darling. Don't expect big yield from these old vineyards. This cuvée from Darling Cellar Old Bush Vines is only produced like 6,000 bottles. So that's really a small quantity in the world of wine, but is that concentration filling in the wine?
Yes, it is. It's definitely showing in the wine. You can see it immediately in the colour. It's got lots more black in that colour. So even though you describe it as ruby red, I suppose, when you put it like that, you can see the black building up. And then also in the nose and the palate intensity. For me, there's some raspberry and some strawberry on the nose, but I have to say that it's more of just a red wine kind of quality nose. I'm not able to pick up many distinct fruits, and I think that's because it's coming from the great intensity that it has. On the palate, it's also intensely fruity, again with those sweet red fruits, red stone fruits, red berry fruits, and the wine is quite plump. It really fills your mouth. It's full-bodied. Even at 13.5 alcohol, it's really full-bodied, fills your mouth with all that intense fruit, but nevertheless it ends a little bit dry. And it's got 3.5 grams of residual sugar, but it doesn't build and build to end with some sweetness. I think it's ending with a fairly decent dry finish. And maybe it's rescued by that freshness that you found.
Yeah, no, I agree. If I had this wine on a blind tasting, I would be completely lost. No way I could find this Darling Cellar, this old vine Cinsaut, would come from Cinsaut, actually. This is a very dark and intense color. Furthermore, there's a fruit ripeness, which is not usually associated to Cinsaut, which is tend to be more strawberry, lighter freshness, restrained alcohol. And here we're having still a restrained alcohol, but a massive wine, clearly on the red fruit. I'm gonna start clearly on the red fruit. I can let it turn, so I'm not moving the camera. Don't move, don't move. I'm gonna just open for her and tell her to. Thank you. I was on the red fruit. Okay, still running. So on that wine, I clearly find a deep, deep red fruit, but I'm also going on a very unusual, I should not say slightly reductive, but I got some beetroot flavor.
Really?
Yeah, and it reminds me sometimes what Malbec can give in terms of extraction. You can see on the color, we're clearly not on a blue tone, but you dark. You might be taking that wine for something maybe closer to a Merlot, or you don't have this blue hint you find on Pinotage or you find on Syrah, but it's not a color usually seen on Cinsaut. On the nose, you can see this wine has been in barrels, got a hint of coconut, vanilla, very exciting spices. It's fruit and vanilla. It's like almost this Cuban fresa y chocolate. It's really something that, and this in the middle palate, this vegetal freshness, but not sign of unripeness, just maybe a bit of full bunch in it, maybe a bit of long skin contact, extracting a touch of bitterness from the skins. Maybe it's a part of the wood, but that's a massive, complex, full wine. I would not put that on the Cinsaut, so on a blind tasting, that's going to be a trick.
All you have to look for is that real fruit intensity, which comes from the old vines. Look for obvious use of oak, and then just that dash of freshness running through the wine. and you'll get it.
So now you talk about it. Would Argentina and Malbec relate to that?
Yes, it would.
Okay.
But that's for another tasting.
That's for another tasting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.